Hey there, Molly with Designless Detail here, and we are touring the kitchen today at the Flip House. It's so pretty, I can't wait to show you. Love the dining room, we've got the pantry space as well. It turned out so well. I mean, if I do say so myself. Stay tuned. If you haven't been following along for these remodel project reveals, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell to be notified of future videos so you don't miss anything, because we have the full home tour coming, which I cannot wait for. And behind me you'll see is this pantry. Can't wait to show you that. Also, we have to talk about how it used to be, because this was kind of a weird layout. We actually did quite a bit of change in here, not just like aesthetically, but also to kind of adjust to function better, a little better layout, I think. Well, a lot better. The kitchen was all, if you remember, all on one wall. It was just on this wall, really, and then there was like open space between that and the dining room that was just wasted, and so we actually took out some walls here. There was a wall that came like right along here, which really segmented this space and I think made wasted space rather than just having all of it be livable and open, like you saw how open the family room is last video or last reveal. And now you can see how these spaces interact a little bit more, because now that this wall's out between the dining room and the living room and the kitchen, we really have that modern living, and it wasn't hard to accomplish, thank heavens, because they were not load-bearing walls, so we could take them out. But it really, really transformed this space to rotate the direction of the kitchen. So we'll kind of look at that. It was just not a very good use of space. And so I really am thrilled that we were able to not just make it look pretty, but we could make this house function so much better. So the door to the laundry room used to be right here on this wall. I wanted to move it here so that it was kind of more private and tucked in here. And then that also allowed us the fridge. Do you remember the fridge was right here? This was the fridge spot. And so this was not open, but I was like, the pantry's behind that. It was so bizarre. You had to walk into the laundry room to access the pantry. And it was just like, so you'd go in a door here, walk all the way to the back, open a door to the pantry. Nobody wants to live like that. I think that's just a fact. So we fixed it. I think we fixed it. Obviously I wanted doors on this. I really wanted doors on this, but they were gonna have to be custom and they were gonna be too far out. So the homeowner can add those. But I love the arch detail. I feel like it made the pantry so cute. And we had all this space behind the fridge wall. So easy to relocate the fridge. We'll show where that is in a minute. Seriously, make sure you guys wait till the end too, because I think you're gonna love the dining room. I mean, I'm having a hard time being humble on this one because I really love it. Sometimes you just kill it. Just sometimes it happens. So with a lot of planning and I'm just happy it's done and it's beautiful. So this, like I was saying, the doors, it would have been nice. I wanted some cool ones, maybe metal, maybe a little bit of glass in them, whatever. It would be cool, but we don't have those. And I still think it's a great, beautiful pantry. We had these shelves that Mike Bear built, our contractor, and he actually was able to use extra flooring material. So how cool is that? These are made from, essentially, they're like upcycled from the flooring. And they are nice and sturdy. Like, he did such a good job. That was one of my favorite like surprises to come see, was just, he did them real fast. And I like showed up one day and they were just in, and I was like, Mike, you're the best. So really, really excited about those. And we really try to utilize all the space. So we went up pretty tall with those. The upper stuff, you probably want to keep a little step stool in here so you can reach that. And I didn't have a chance to add it, but this is like the perfect place to do like hanging spice racks, maybe a little hook for like aprons. So definitely some opportunity here to use that space as well. And if I were living here, I would totally do that. We really, when we did staging, we keep it kind of simple and minimal and clean. So yes, if you were using this pantry, you'd probably have a little more stuff in here. At the same time though, there are so many great pantry products. Walmart has this new line with the home edit. And so they have these cool like little acrylic containers and these like cans for your shelf, which is just awesome because you can see what you have and they're really not terribly expensive. So they have some good little sets with those. These are my favorite glass canisters with the wood lids. They're airtight, really good for being able to see your ingredients and have them look pretty and be functional too. Anyway, we'll talk more about products in the next video because I have so much to show you, but definitely some really cool things. This collection up here, beautiful appliances, we'll talk about those next video as well. Love how that turned out, and we were able to throw some baskets at the bottom too with lids so that you can kind of hide stuff too. here we are over on this wall. One thing that was cool about this kitchen is that I wanted to keep costs minimal, so I kept the range exactly where it was. I kept the dishwasher exactly where it was, the sink exactly where it was. So I'm kind of proud of the fact that we did it cost effectively and it still turned out so beautifully. I wanted to have storage on this wall and bring in, you know, this as a real focal point for the kitchen, this kind of area here, especially pretty because we have that arch over there. In order to keep some balance, you know, I did these on either side, and like I said, we weren't moving this. So it's a little bit quirky because we have this open space, but I love it because you have taller appliances like this, and having this corner visible actually gives you a little more feeling of space, which I love. And it helps balance out because we have the pantry on that side so that we don't feel like this is too like off center or something. I really love how this came together, even though it's kind of unique and quirky. So the glass door cabinets, I wanted to make essentially a china cabinet. I love china cabinets. In kitchens, we've done them in so many of our projects where it's a built-in china cabinet that's customized. I have the arched one in my house. We had that beautiful white oak one in my previous home that we built. I've done them in a bunch of client projects. I just love that little element of glass that gives you a display place, a little moment. It kind of mixes up, breaks up the cabinetry so it doesn't feel too heavy. So having this beautiful glass element is, I think, a really nice addition to a kitchen. And we have where you can keep your dishes. And these are cool because they're adjustable, so you could put in more shelves. I think we have one more shelf that could go in. I wanted to keep it kind of minimal for staging, but you could have even more storage with that other shelf. And this is cool because it is actually not even real wood. I used this in the last flip house too. It is a wood look melamine. So it's really a faux wood, but it looks incredible. It gives us some really nice detail inside that cabinet. And I love this color. Do you guys love the cabinet color? It is actually a random selection. I'd never seen it used or anything. It is Sherwin-Williams Morris Room Gray. Really beautiful, just kind of picked it on a whim, but I'm so happy I did because I love it. I love it with the wood accent and even our kind of neutral countertops. It's just such a nice pseudo neutral. It's not white, it's not cream. It's really got some nice like color to it. It's a little bit deeper color and a little bit more gray than the Revere pewter that I used in the last flip house kitchen. So it's a little bit of a green undertone, but still I would almost describe it as a mushroom type color. So I love it so much. I feel like it's very practical, very current and fresh still. Gives us some character and warmth to the space. Big fan. I get really excited and then I just talk really fast and say a lot of things, but it's just because I love it. The appliances, you'll notice I did the, what is it called? Black stainless? Yeah, I think it's called black stainless. I love it because I get kind of tired of just regular stainless steel. I like that this has some depth, but still a little richness in the metallic tone. And we did not have gas appliances here. It was all electric, but I think that this gives a really clean, simple look. And then we got a little bit of the counter. I wanted to make sure we kept a little bit of counter space. Even though it's a small kitchen, it really feels a lot bigger than even the space is because of planning. And I wanted to make sure that we had a spot on either side of the range for those utensils to grab quickly. You know, and you still have a little spot if you need to set something down, a little ingredient space. And then this little corner, of course, is just so great for your like KitchenAid type appliance. This is actually the Walmart version, which has got amazing reviews and is a way better price than the KitchenAid. So I will link that in description as well as the other stuff, but we'll talk about it more next week. Next video, I always say next week, sorry about that. As far as kitchen styling, we'll talk about that just briefly. I love keeping it minimal, even the way I live. You could fill it with more stuff if you wanted, but I really do love just having, you know, your dishes stacked, easy to get to, and then a little bit of greenery in the kitchen to keep it fresh. Of course, you know this is like my favorite go-to little thyme plant. And then I think this kitchen's so fun with these little wall lanterns. I wanted to do something to give us some character, and I think these are a great little addition for that. So nice little functional corner, kind of like a baking corner you could have to use that for. I need to show you the sink too, but I just realized it's got a lot of stuff in it, so let me wash it really quick. We got this pull down. Hey, it's a good demo for the pull down faucet. I did some photo shoot yesterday and we did some really cool products for hosting, like entertaining. And so I did all this food. And so I used this kitchen to get it all ready, and I was like, yep, it works great. Everything was functioning as I had imagined. So I gave it the whole coasting test. So there's the sink. Did the matte black for the accents in here. So yes, this little area over here is kind of awesome. We kept the original window. So this was already here, but it sort of was downplayed. And so I wanted to accentuate it because it's so nice to have a window in the kitchen. And this one looks out at it's a pretty rose bush out there. It's really just the side of the neighbor's house, but it's kind of private and at least there's a rose bush, so that's nice. And anyway, that being said, these little lights were a nice way to kind of make this be kind of a secondary focal point and balance out what we have going on over here. Without competing too much, I feel like having this nice open wall space here and not doing upper cabinets really allows this kitchen to feel bigger. And we put storage in other places. The island has a lot of drawer storage, and then we did the double cabinet above the fridge so that we could really get, still keep a lot of cabinet space. You wouldn't have gotten much, in here, maybe two, and I just think it would have made this space feel so cramped. I'm not a big fan of upper cabinets. In fact, I haven't done them for probably, in my designs, probably like 5 years. Because we built, gosh, was it 4 years ago then? Anyway, in our last house, I didn't do upper cabinets. Last remodel, this remodel, our home that we live in now. Anyway, haven't done uppers for a long time. And I really do love that openness and the ability to have prep space. I think you don't realize when you have a cabinet sticking out how much harder it is to really prep there. And so to me, having this just a true prep area where you can be up in the business of the counter. Yeah, up in the counter's business. Getting your baking done, whatever. I'm making a good case for no upper cabinets. I know some people are going to, why don't you guys comment? I wanna hear what you think. Uppers, no uppers. I know some people can't handle the idea of not utilizing every ounce of wall space for storage, and I can respect that. I just don't agree with it. So I love me some kitchen with no uppers. And we do have technically some above the fridge. So, that being said, and these are come down, so that sort of counts, but it's really kind of looking at a kitchen in a different way, kind of breaking out of the, that builder grade look and just thinking, what could I do here? What things could I try that haven't maybe even been tried? Make something that's functional and beautiful. So I do love that. We've got, of course, the dishwasher over here and then just our little, knick-knacky drawers. Really cool fridge. We'll talk about that in the next video as well. And then of course, I talked about up there. So, this hardware, isn't this hardware beautiful? I actually had originally selected another one that I loved as well, but they were not in stock. So at the last minute, we were able to get these and I love them. With that, they have kind of a European feel. I love that rounded edge. I love the brass against the white oak. It's just very classic and it warms up the space to give us that character type of detail that really makes a difference in a home like this. When it's a smaller house, you want it to just feel like you thought through everything. Oh, speaking of thinking through everything, I didn't talk about this. This is the pull-out trash, and we were able to get 2 garbage cans right there. I love the placement of this. I wanted it right by the sink because sometimes you have stuff you want to throw away right there. And then also this is another prep area, so it's right centrally located. Love a good pull-out trash. All right, let's talk microwave. This is one of those things that it's hard to win with a microwave because it's a microwave. Everybody has an opinion on where it should go. We had the controversy on the last Live House microwave being in the pantry. This one we did in the island. What do you guys think? Island, yes? Island, no? I know some people don't love it for their kids, but other people do like it because they're older kids that can then, use it. I don't know. I think it's pretty nice and tucked away and seamless. And I'm a fan of where this one is, but let me know what you think. I personally don't love how microwaves look. So this is kind of no one has to see it unless they're using it. But yeah, let me know what you think there. I'd rather have it there than taking up all the counter space. So I think it's as much of a win as we can get. Countertops, while we're here, these are a quartz called Simply White. And I wanted to keep it very simple. So I went Simply White. They are, quartz is a little bit different than quartzite. I had quartzite in my last house. I have a countertop video if you guys want to check that out. It talks a little bit more about the different kinds of materials. Quartz is very durable. It's a little bit spendy. The one downside is you can't put hot stuff right onto it like you can with granite. So I think can't be above 300 degrees. So that's pretty hot, but you can't just pull a pan off. It will melt it because it's essentially quartz stone that is crushed and then put together, man-made. But I like it because it's consistent, you can get the same color, and so, you know, like if you use it once, you can get it again, and it should be more consistent than a natural stone. But I also love natural stone. The quartzite is more expensive than the quartz, so this was a little bit more affordable and approachable for our budget. And I really wanted the other details to stand out. So this is almost like, I think that that's one thing, like, I'll give you a little design tip here. One thing that happens a lot in parade homes, do you guys look at parade homes? I go look at them all the time, mostly to give you tours and to say what I like and don't like. But one thing that I like notice with them is that people, they have a lot of times a really big budget and they want to make it like so grand and so almost over the top that it's like the oh my gosh thing. But that sort of sometimes hinders you because, or whoever's house it is, it's kind of like, I think, a downside in some ways, because then they end up putting detail in every element of the house. So like they buy really expensive countertops and they do all the trim work, all the molding, all the, like, and it's almost like there gets to be so many details that you can't really have a moment. I said it like this once, and this comes from The Incredibles when he says, when everyone's super, no one is. And that's sort of like when everything's detailed, or when everything's a moment, nothing is. That's kind of how it is, because you really want to have these standout moments, which I'll show you an example is like what I did in the dining room. And so if you do it everywhere, it's sort of like there's too many places to look. And so when you use it sparingly, and in this case, like I went really minimal on the countertops, they're really basic. They aren't the moment, but they let other things be the moment, and they, you know, are a good accent to capture that. So that we have this standing out, maybe our light fixtures, those little details, and the countertop isn't competing with it. It's just a nice, clean, blank slate. And I wanted to do lighter countertops because I'd been doing darker for a while, just wanted to switch it up, and I love it. Really keeps the space fresh, and with it being smaller, I think it does keep it a little bit more open feeling. So, yay to that. So, wrapping up the last few details here in the kitchen. Oh, and you'll notice I did the quartz from there also as a backsplash, again, keeping it super minimal because I had other things I wanted to stand out, and I love it. So these chairs, love them. They are a Marshall's find. They look like ones that are from McGee & Co. Have you seen their wishbone chairs? They look really similar, but I think these are really great quality. They're nice wood. Let's pull one out. They're a wood frame, and the rush seat is really high quality. I think that these are a really great buy, and they look like the designer ones, so big fan of those. And I love that the color of them is similar to this one that I did, you know, on the surround. Of course, I went white oak on the island for a little bit of an interest and contrast. Such a beautiful piece that really coordinates well with the floor. These are Hallmark floors, Camarilla oak. Talked about them a little bit more in the main bedroom reveal, so you can check that out. And then, what else am I, oh, the lights. I added these. There were no pendant lights in this kitchen to begin with, and I thought it needed a little something. I love how simple these are. They just have that glass shade, and they're not too big. They're kind of just like the right size. Subtle, classic, really beautiful. I love a dome pendant, just like one of my favorites right now. Just really, really beautiful and timeless in my opinion. Styled up the kitchen counter with artichokes. I love artichokes. I should get some fake ones, but I got the real ones because they're just such a nice little way to add texture. And I love having a big bowl. It's, you know, in reality, what we use ours for, we have a big basket on our countertop and we just keep it for the fresh fruit so kids can grab fruit anytime. So I really do love having a nice big bowl, like a fruit bowl on the counter. It adds a little interest, and of course looks really good for staging and styling as well, but also function if you're like us and your family likes to eat a lot of fresh fruit. Remember that one time I told you about this wall? And we've got something really fun going on the wall here. I won't tell you, but it's stone. It's stone. I can't wait. Well, times change. And as the details for the kitchen were coming together, two things happened. This is why it's important to be flexible when you're a designer and or a home owner, builder, whatever. You have to kind of like sometimes adapt your design and evolve your design, and sometimes that's like how the best things happen. In this scenario, we were waiting on the countertops and the cabinets, and we couldn't do the stone until those were in, and we were on a time crunch. We needed to get the house on the market, and I was like, hold on, wait, like, do we really need the stone there? Because as these details came together, I was like, there's so much interest over here. Like I was talking about how, you know, you want to have something be a moment. And I felt like we had lots of moments here. The kitchen had its moments. I was like, it doesn't need the stone. But you know where it does? The dining room. I feel like I don't need to speak because it's just really beautiful. So this dining room I thought could use a little moment, and this stone wall was the perfect thing. And I made a guide for you guys that's affordable, and it talks about what stone I used, how we did it, the mortar that we used, etc. And I think that this is probably one of my favorite design details ever. I love how it complements the kitchen, but it's really its own thing and gives this space truly like something to set it apart. And this gorgeous, just clean backdrop. I think this is a real selling point for this house. It was actually surprisingly affordable. We're talking like $9 a square foot for the product. So really did some good research to get the perfect stone that is easy to work with, and I'm obsessed with it. Let's talk furniture now for the dining room. What's so cool is that we had the space to do a really nice sized table. You could actually seat 8 here. We just have the 2 chairs on the side, but you could do 3 on either side because this does have a leaf and it does extend. It's a really solid, beautiful table. I love the detail on the tabletop. You can see that pattern. It's like an inlay, like a lattice inlay, and it is just so classic. The base of it is gorgeous. We'll talk more about that next week too. I get carried away. I wanted to do different end chairs with a little bit of upholstery, and then these really pretty ones. Light fixture, I wanted something different for this side that really matched the linear nature of the table and was totally different than what we have in the kitchen, so that, because they're not terribly far apart, so I really wanted them to be unique and different so that they work well together but don't feel like they're competing too much. Also wanted to bring in a little greenery here too, so we have this fun tree in the pot. This is one of my favorites. It's sold out, but I'll still link it because hopefully it could come back. And then love that pot. So it really kind of framed in this space and gave us that organic feel. We've got these gorgeous tall windows. These were already here. We didn't have to change the windows, which was nice. And they even have that light above, but we did add these new shades. I'll link those. I forgot to in the last video, or one of the last videos I said I would, and I forgot, so I'll really do it this time. But those are nice to give us a little bit of that texture as well. And we've just got that beautiful view to the backyard. Check out the backyard video if you haven't. So this is it. I think it came together so well. These 2 spaces just really, I think, work great together. So there it is, the dining room, kitchen, pantry. And if I missed anything, leave me a question in comments, because I can try and hit it in the whole home tour. I think I covered it, but I'm sure there's always something that could be missed. So let me know if so, and we will get it, because that is coming next time, Ben, right? This is the last stop on the home tour. So after our product video for this space, then it will be the tour of the whole house, so you can get a better sense for the layout and how we opened it up and all that stuff. So thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell to be notified of future videos. If you want to see more stuff like this, be sure to give us a like so we know that you're enjoying the content, and we will see you next time.